Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Lunch and Learn series. I am Helen Panos. For those of you that don't know me by now, I am here every Wednesday at 12 noon, and I have a K through 12 tutoring, SAT, ACT prep company, and a lot more. We do advocacy now. We do Governor's Honors Program. We help with that. We also help with college essay writing and application. We're doing one this weekend, actually. So I am excited to be helping so many children K through 12 nationwide because my tutors are pretty much 90% virtual nowadays and 10% in person in the Atlanta area for those of you that are watching from wherever you may be in this time of digital world.
Wow.
It's amazing. But so we are blessed that in a way that we have all this digital stuff as long as
Yes.
it's working and not crashing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I have a great guest with me today. Her name is Dr. Elizabeth Rosner, and Dr. Roz for short. We are going to refer to her as Dr. Roz. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I love being with you, Helen. I love everything that you're doing. Just a huge fan of Dynamis and the extensive, comprehensive array of services that you offer. It's just phenomenal. So
Oh,
glad
thank
to
you.
be here.
Yeah, it's exciting. I love adding more things. We
Yeah.
also do webinars. I was just talking to the Milton cluster of all those schools up there, and we will be doing some webinars online, again, online, for parents and for kids and for our Dynamis kids. So I have an interesting bonus for those of you that sign up this year, especially in the fall. Earlier the better. You know what they say about the early bird gets the worm? Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's why we're here to talk about debt-free degrees, aren't we?
That's
Early
right.
bird gets the worm, doesn't it, Dr.
That's
Ross?
exactly right. That's exactly right. The earlier, the better.
So let's start off by, can you really quickly tell everybody your background and your company name and all of that?
Hey everybody! So as she mentioned, I I founded and am the CEO of Debt Free Degree with Dr. Roz, and this started around 2005. I didn't found my business then, but that's when I started hearing students say, "I'm taking the maximum amount of loans," and so they were paying their tuition and fees, and then living off of that. Some of them were living quite well. Some of them were it was funding a party. It was funding things that, perhaps were extraneous. And there were others that were literally using it for living and for school. But they were graduating with, 20, 25, $30,000 in debt. And in 2005, that was just astounding to me. So I started then with this mission of how can I help students graduate fully debt free? Because my parents taught me that we don't go into debt for education. So
Mhm.
the misnomer also is that people then think that Dr. Roz is all about being debt free in every aspect. And I'm not a financial planner. And so you need to make those decisions for you. I will say, however, that when you go into debt to buy a home or to buy a car, there is an asset there that you can sell to recoup some or all of your money,
Mhm.
preferably even make money. But when you have something in your brain, there's nothing that you can sell to recoup that. And with some student loans, when you pass away, meaning the knowledge has passed away, the debt passes to your heirs. And
Mhm.
so it's just really something to think about. So,
That's awesome. Yes. So let's start off with our first question. We have a few. What are some of the most significant challenges you've encountered in promoting the debt free degree movement, and how have you overcome it or
wow.
overcome them?
Well, let me tell y'all, for those of you that haven't yet subscribed to Helen's podcast, y'all need to go subscribe because like the one I most recently listened to, I guess it was your most recent one, was about the difference between the digital ACT and the regular SAT. And I was in the testing center for about 2.5 years. And so the way you lay it out and the way you ask questions, I love, love, love. So I would say one
Thank
of the biggest,
you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. One of the biggest challenges is what I call the human algorithm. So I didn't coin that term. So props to whoever did. But we are surrounded by this cacophony of take the loans and figure out how to pay it off later, or take the loans and hope that the government says your loans are wiped out. But it's always take the loans, always. And so I even recently, about a year and a half ago, called into a show, and they were talking about the student loan crisis. And I said, why is no one talking about a debt-free degree? And they heard me, and then they all went to how you could quickly and efficiently pay off your student loans. Like, it's this, like, getting through this cacophony of noise that you have to have loans. Even a couple of months ago, I was reading an article from Forbes, and it was talking about ways that young professionals can invest their money and how they can make the most of their money. And point number 3 was how they could quickly pay off their student loans. It's just pervasive. And so here I am saying debt-free degree is possible, and you've got this mountain of evidence that says it's not. And so it's really why I wrote the book, because I was having these conversations over and over and over and over and over. And so now, folks can read about it in the book, and then, okay, I need more help. I want more information, and then come and ask. So,
and tell us the name of your book.
The name of my book is, Debt-Free Degree, how to graduate without student loans while getting good grades, having tons of fun, and landing your dream job. Now, I recently had somebody who said, I am sick and tired of hearing people talk about landing your dream job. I think it's, overused, and, it's just unrealistic, and you just got to get a job. You know what? When you are graduating debt-free, you've got way more freedom and way more parameters for being able to say yes and no to certain jobs. When you've got student loan debt and that is already crippling, you've got less choices because you've got to get a job quickly. And Helen, I will disclose this person later because it's somebody that Helen knows. But I was talking to this person, and she's very young, and her college roommate, they've been out of college for about 2 years. And her college roommate is just always lamenting on how much she owes in student loan debt. They graduated with their bachelor's during COVID, and the roommate just decided to get her master's during COVID. So she's got like $200,000 in student loan debt, $200,000 for bachelor's and master's. And so the friend that you and I, Helen, have in common, said to her roommate, why are you always complaining about it? Why don't you just get a job that you love? Or why don't you start a business like I did? And she looked at her and she goes, I don't have that freedom. I have got to pay this bill every single month. And it's 4 digits every single month.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, my. I don't want to know what school she went to. My goodness. Yeah. I mean, I just paid off mine. How? I mean, in my 50s, I did a Stafford loan when, of course, my mom paid for my undergrad, but, I've got 3 degrees. So the master's I did, I don't know if I paid for that one because I was already working. And then it was the educational specialist degree that I got, I got a loan for that. And then I just recently paid it off, but that was because I got married and sold my house. So I used some of that money, which I would have liked to have kept that money.
Exactly.
Looking back, I could have had a bunch of extra money. Yes. So folks, listen to what Dr. Rossner is saying to you.
I mean, educators, it all love. My mom was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. My grandmother was born in 1901, and she was a teacher. I mean, education is deeply, deeply, deeply in my DNA. And educators are frequently the ones who say, take the loans and figure out how to pay it off later. Because in education, unlike in many other professions, if you add on certificates, if you add on degrees, then we will give you a pay money. Exactly. And so I recently was at a middle school financial literacy morning event, and there was a teacher in there who was in there as a parent. Her son, her son was in there with her. She owes over $200,000 in student loan. Wow. As a teacher, because she kept doing these things that they said she could do to add on. And so here she is, like she says, I'll never pay that off. And so that's the R in the GRIP blueprint is return on investment. It's also return on an inactivity. If you
Right.
just
Well,
decide to take the loans, how hard is that going to be?
and let me add, when I did do my specialist in 2009, that's when they had the big freeze. So when I thought I was going to get a $5,000 raise, right? So this is another thing people need to keep in mind. Nothing is in black and white forever, right? You're thinking you're going to get a $5,000 raise by getting a specialist degree, but then that was the year they did a freeze, or I forgot what they called it, but that went on for 3 years, and actually we paid them back some money. So maybe my raise was 3,000 in total, and that went on for a while. So I hadn't planned on that, right? I was thinking, oh, $5,000 raise, woohoo! All right, so and they did, because I was in a title. I won't get into politics here, but I was in a title one school, and if you were in that for 3 years or more, you got 5,000 forgiven, having the Stanford loan. I won't get into politics about what's going on. So we'll leave it at that. If you know where I'm going with that. So I probably would not have gotten my $5,000 off, because it might not be a Title One school, if you get my drift. So anyway, things are not set in stone, is what my point is on that. When you think you're going to get a raise, that can get yanked from up underneath you, folks.
Exactly.
And if anything else going on in today's society, we all know that it's out of our control in terms of what may happen, interest rates, blah, 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 all this stuff,
and
right?
Let's also be honest. Let's just say, I have no idea, but let's just say that your degree cost you $15,000 and you thought, I'm going to get a $5,000 raise. What many people will do in simple math is say, I'll pay it off in 3 years. Nope. When you get a $5,000 raise, that's not $5,000 in your pocket. It's a raise that you've got to then pay taxes on. And then your mind kicks in and you go, I ate beans and rice while I was in school. And so now I want to eat some steak. So I'm going to spend some of this money over here, and I'm going to do this and this and this. And all of a sudden, out of that $5,000, maybe you're spending $1,000, and so then it's like, how long is it going to take you to pay back this $15,000? If it's not $5,000 a year, but now it's down to $1,000, whatever it is, you really have to be savvy about these numbers.
Yeah, that's true. Because again, I wouldn't have thought some of these things would have happened when I did my educational specialist degree. And at any time, they're constantly changing things on teachers. So just because they were forgiving 5,000, if you were 10,000, if you were a special ed teacher or in these critical fields, that can change at any point in time. Just like the Zell Scholarship. Well, that one's set, but the Hope is a great example of that, right? They've made it 100% right now. It was 80. That can change right back. I tell that to parents all the time. You can't really even, you may go in thinking it's 100% and your child's there, 4 years at college. Well, what if they change it 2 years from now? It really depends on, we're not the ones power of B. So it's better, folks, that you just get a debt-free degree.
Listen, sister.
That's what I would be doing.
Time, Helen, say it one more time.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing nowadays. Believe you me. So what advice do you have for parents other than what maybe we've just said, who are just beginning to navigate the journey toward this debt-free degree?
I would say 2 things. Number one, change your mindset so that debt-free degree is your only goal.
That's true.
What happens is people say, I want this degree from this school and I want a debt-free degree, and they layer it on. It's like the third or fourth thing. Nope. Debt-free degree has to be your end goal. And if that is your only end goal, then your student will do phenomenally. The earlier, the better. Now, I've had 2 parents, we're recording this on July the 24th. I've had 2 parents in the last 3 days say, my child is five digits over 10 grand gap between July and starting school in August. How can you help us, Dr. Roz? It's a little bit like calling Weight Watchers and saying, I need to lose 100 pounds for a wedding by August 5th. Can you help me? Weight Watchers is a really long trajectory. A debt-free degree is not a magic pill. It is a long trajectory. So parents, the earlier you can start, the better. Obviously, I would say read my book, of course. And I would say the other advice I keep giving to parents is the conversation around college is also pervasive for students. And I would say you sit down with your student and y'all agree, we're going to talk about college on this day at this time for this amount of time. And that's it. Now, it might be 4 times a week, it might be every day, whatever it is. But whatever it is, that's when y'all talk about college and no other time. Because you need a break, parents need a break from that, the students need a break from that, everybody needs a break from that. And it just is like, and I was talking to somebody who they could have easily earned a debt-free degree through their state school. And yet, every time they get something from an Ivy or something from an elite private school, the mom was like, and it was this underlying message of, yeah, debt-free degree is fine, but this Ivy, where you might spend a lot of money, and so it's really thinking about the messages that we're sending to our children. Is it great to celebrate an Ivy? Yes, of course. However, my focus is debt-free degree. It's this love-centered way. It's a form of nonviolence. And so keeping the main thing.
And I just want to say hello to Lori of My Ideal College. She's watching us.
Hello, Lori. We love you.
Just interviewed, so make sure you go back a couple weeks. Or no, I think it was just a week ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Dr. Holmes was last week.
Candace,
all of my guests this month are terrific. I know them personally.
Yes.
We're all in a group together. We've known each other for quite a while. We refer business. I'll be transparent about it. We refer business to each other, and rightfully so.
Yes.
We believe in what we are all doing.
Yes.
I see Lori said, the debt-free degree with Dr. Ross book is a wealth of great information. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you. And you know what, Lori? Because Lori just released her book as well. And thank you for that. When I talk about a debt-free degree, when I talk about being love-centered, one way that I demonstrate that is how much I love Lori Genevich. She is the founder of My Ideal College. On paper, it would seem like we are competitors, and nothing could be further from the truth. Even if we did exactly the same thing, there's still enough to go around, and we do some things that are different, and we love each other. And that, when you think about a debt-free degree, one of the reasons why I maybe, Helen, we can get into this a little bit, is why I envision a debt-free degree club at every middle school and high school, every community in the nation, is because a degree is both inherently individual and communal. There's not a soul out there that has earned a degree that they earned completely on their own, because you've got to have this infrastructure to teach you. You've got to have people in the classroom. It's got to be both individual and communal. And so my relationship with Lori in particular, but Lori and Helen and I and Kelly Kilpatrick from Texas, like we just all come together and say, let's get these college students exactly where they're meant to be, prepared academically and graduating debt free.
And Dr. Ross will be on my podcast soon. I mean, we've already, of course, recorded it, and it'll be rolling out soon. Yes. I don't remember the date off the top of my head, but you might. It's like 15 rolling out.
Exactly.
I think you're like number 5, maybe, something like that. So in August. So one more question. What's next then for the debt-free degree movement, and how can listeners get involved or support your mission?
Oh, well, that just sets me up perfectly for the debt-free degree clubs. So I have already established 2 clubs nationwide. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my accent, but I have established 1 club in California and 1 club in Washington State. So we truly are a national movement. And I am looking for groups and organizations who say enough is enough is enough. And we want to come together as a group and follow this curriculum. I've got a 52-week curriculum. So if you meet every day, there's stuff for you. If you meet every week or every month, whatever that is, to walk alongside. I've got only 8 slots left for folks who are willing to walk alongside me and pilot it. And then after that, it is, those who want to get engaged with it, obviously would need to pay for that. And I'll walk you through what it means to have a debt-free degree club in as I said, every middle school and high school, every community. So if you're a church group, if you're a scout troop, if you've got a scholarship club and you want to expand that out, whatever that looks like, please reach out.
That's awesome. You might need to go to the state legislature and get this moved into high schools and have a class on this.
I would love it. I would love it. I would love it.
I know they've worked on that financial literacy class, right? That they are now making mandatory for high schoolers, and that's needed. But that ties in greatly with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So might need to talk to some of our congressmen.
Exactly. If you've got folks that that can help me go that route. And to be honest with you, Helen, where I really, really, really want to start that is middle school.
Yes, I agree. Because actually, it's the middle school curriculum, since I taught social studies, where we have to teach personal finance.
Okay.
And for a week, and that was thrown in, gosh, it's been a while now, at least I'm gonna say 7 years ago, when they put that in as a mandatory part of the social studies curriculum in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, because Georgia was one of the top bankruptcy states.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they did that, and they realized that parents may not have the knowledge or the foresight to be able to teach their own children about as much as they need to related to finance. So that would go along great with this. You should definitely come in and speak to classes as well.
Yeah, I would love it.
You can just duplicate yourself a few times, because you can't do all this, Dr. Ross.
Yes. Well, as you mentioned at the top of the show, technology is a beautiful thing.
It is.
And so.
Oh, yes. Tell them about your free webinars.
So yes, so absolutely, I offer 2 free webinars a month. So I walk through the Grit Blueprint, and then I do laser coaching at the end. You can attend as many free webinars as you want to. I just held one yesterday, and I had 70 folks in attendance on that one. So awesome. Yeah.
So when is your next one, so our audience will know?
I do not know.
It'll be on her website, folks.
It's on my website.
But there you go. I've got it right there for everybody. They can get your chapter 1 of your book, and they can get on to finding out about the free webinar. And all you have to do is go to that link right there. It's drroz.love/Dynamis lunch and learn / Oh, I love the way you put my name in there. So guys, go in there. I'm going to have it in the comment section, so it's a live link as well. But that's it. So you can find out, because she's probably always adding these webinars in every month.
Oh yeah, I do 2 a month, and so that's in there. And yeah, I mean, any way that you can get involved. Many of you know that I am one of only 14 certified trainers of nonviolence in the world from the Martin Luther King Center. And my favorite quote by Dr. King is, "A social movement that moves merely people is a revolt, but a social movement that transforms people and institutions is a revolution. Debt-free degree is a revolution, and I invite you to join us, and let's forever change the higher education funding industry, from debilitating debt to financial freedom."
Terrific. I love that. Woo! I am in full agreement with that. I should have brought my pom-pom. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Ross. I appreciate you and all your knowledge and sharing it with my audience. And definitely, folks, if it's not for you, you know people that have teams. Right. And the earlier you start, the better. Yes. Believe me when I say this. Yes. And I'm not saying wait till 10th grade. That's too late.
No, it may not be too late, but it's but you can start earning scholarships as young as 5th grade. I've got one family, this young man, I helped him back in 2005. I helped him earn a debt-free degree. Fast forward, he's now father of 12 children. Baby number 12 is named after me. Her name is Elizabeth.
Wow.
Beautiful. But his oldest 5 are in middle school, high school, and college, and all 5 of them are earning a debt-free degree, but all 12 of his children will earn a debt-free degree. because putting this into place and starting it early. And, many times we hear parents say the minute that the child is born, either verbally saying you're going to college, starting a college fund, whatever that is, from birth, even from pregnancy, this child is going to go to college. And so just tweak it a bit, debt free. Just add debt free at the end. That's the expectation, and we can change this. We can change this, because the thing is, when you say yes to a student loan, somebody else is making money.
Right.
When you do the hard work on the front end, I was on a podcast last week, and I said, pick your hard, that you get to pick your hard. And of all the things I said, I said it like really early in the conversation. It was like an hour-long podcast. And that was what she said was her takeaway, was pick your hard. And so you get to pick your hard. Do you want to work hard on the front end and be able to give yourself tremendous freedom? Or do you want to work for decades? I don't know how long our illustrious hosts held that student loan debt. Was it over a decade, Helen, that you held your
almost
if
I hadn't gotten married, it would have been over a decade.
Yeah.
I'll give credit to my husband and me being able to sell my house. That was just, luck, I guess you can call it. Everybody doesn't get that, that to happen to them, that I had a house and I could sell that and then use some of that to pay off a loan. But yes, because it would have been in 2008 or 9. And then I got married in 2017. So I paid it off in 2018 when I sold the house. So very close to 10 years.
Yeah. And just think about what those 10 years would have been like. Like you said, what if you had that money to only put towards your new home, or to only put in your retirement account,
or travel?
Go to Greece.
Go to Greece, of course. I could think of a lot of things I could have done with that money. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate all your time and your knowledge. Gosh, what a great conversation, as always.
Always great to be with you, Helen. Always. So I'm sending you a lot of love, and sending all your audience members a lot of love. And yeah.
I wish there were hearts that could fly up here. I don't know that I can do that.
I even have a heart-shaped what is this called? Mouse pad.
So, love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. And folks, if you stay on after I end something, I want to catch you up on something real quick. But everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your week. And please talk to your kids about this from middle school, at least. All righty. Have a good rest of your day, folks. Bye for now.
Bye.